Hey guys, welcome to the fourth and final part of this series. So, one thing that I do want to change is this free distort. The more I sort of spent time with it, matching it up, because it's kind of like a manual, shear. It's not really ideal. So I'm just going to disable that for now, and I'm going to achieve it in a different way, I think. So the best way to sort of do it would be I'm not sure which one you'll have active, but search for the rotate tool and then go down to shear tool. And then all you need to do with your object selected is just adjust that offset there to something that you think is relatively close to what you want. So you could do it that way. There's another way, which is transform and then shear and then the shear angle in here, and do it that way too. Everything should still sort of behave as you'd expect, so the slicing's the same and stuff like that. Everything should be okay. We'll just hop in and we can sort of see, this symbol is still sort of active. But yeah, so I'm going to give that a try, just so when it comes to mocking up these elements, I can be a little bit more consistent with it. So go the root, which is shear, and if we just remember, it's 6 degrees. And then we can apply that to all the other objects. So turn the distorts off all of the main components. We're going to have to hop into this one to probably turn it off, I think. Yeah, and the same will apply for this one here. Okay, cool. But then we can, easily redo it by transform and shear, and then if we turn that off, we probably don't need this one. That's saved in there anyway, so let's keep these guys. Turn the free distort off here too, and so object, transform and shear again. Yep, that's good. And for this one too, so shear, and there we go. So make sure your text is nicely aligned, and do the same for this one too. And you remember, we're just enabling the align to key object. Cool. So I went ahead and I found just some random website what the font is for the main body text, and apparently it's Lolita 1. You can see my shoddy typing, but yeah, it's very similar if it's not exactly the same. And yeah, let's force the uppercase. Yeah, and we're definitely getting something that's much closer, aren't we? So yeah, let's force the uppercase and just type in Lolita here. There we go. And obviously it's starting to make a bit more of an impact in terms of matching it exactly, so it's cool. And now we know we're sort of roughly matching it 1 to 1. We can start to bring in the other elements and stuff. So one of the things that I noticed, which did trigger me to look for the correct font, was in this font, which I think is a Google one. It doesn't support pound signs or anything like that, so something to look out for. However, this one does, which is quite nice. So yeah, we're definitely getting that that final effect really, aren't we? And let's just increase things now a little bit. Looking good, and we're just going to align that so it's sort of roughly visually centered. Here we're just going to, nice. Yeah, so that's looking good, I think. And we'll just adjust these. I could have done them all at the same time if I had shift selected them, but there's no harm in just sort of running through things one by one. There we go. It's looking good. I'm just going to drag it out a little bit more. Bring that over so it covers it. Sweet. There, so we're something a little bit closer now, aren't we? Cool. We do need to do the same to this. So object, transform, and then shear. Looking pretty good. And we're just going to shift that in a little bit. It seems, yeah, that's what they do. Nice. So that's definitely made a difference. And then we'll just pop this in there. I'm not going to do all of the icons. But yeah, that's essentially that. I don't think it's going to work like it probably would, as you'd expect it to, but yeah, you know, you could always trace over this and then do the stroke on it. Let's just see about that, shall we? So if we go to image trace and then we'll do silhouettes, see what happens. There you go. So we get something. Then if we go to expand appearance, that's the one. There we go. I'm going to send that behind. And now we've got access to that path, we can apply the stroke to it. Cool. And I think I'm just going to shift that stroke over a bit, and then, yeah, just sort of roughly get it in place. Cool, it's looking good. And yeah, it seems mega box. There we go. And we'll force that to uppercase as well. There we go. You might notice it's quite subtle, but they do have a little bit of hierarchy going on. So this is definitely smaller, so I think I'll pop it down to about 28 or something like that as a guess. Let's see. Okay, check that out, quite close. And because we're not matching it one-to-one, I think we'll just align it like that. That's looking pretty good. Something weird about the offset there, but yeah, it's something they're doing, isn't it? Cool. So that's looking good. And yeah, what you'd end up doing is scaling this. In fact, it might just be worth double checking what's going on here. So it doesn't look like this is a smart symbol, does it? So if we create a symbol out of it, enable the slicing. So button, base, oh. There we go. Just double click to hop into that again. Just make sure we're clearing what we need. Cool. So now we should expect to see what we hoped for, really. There we go. 1920 by 1080. delete the stroke. Cool, and we're just going to align that and shift it right to the back. Looking good. Let's create our first heading or page title, screen title, which is shop. So we know where we are. Just gonna up that to about 56. Let's see. Where we are. Well, that's a little bit bigger. Let's do 64. Yeah, something like that. Looks quite nice. They do have black bars across the top, don't they? So we'll select this, paste it in place, and transform it so it cuts roughly halfway through the text. And then we'll just send that to the back and bring it forward ever so slightly. There you go. Cool, so that's looking nice. And it's okay to do this type of stuff, you know, where you just have your base button and sort of you push it off the screen. You don't have to create one that fits perfectly in that corner. It's probably just as efficient to, you know, just reuse the same sprite instead of having a you know, bespoke one for these two corners. There we go. Duplicate that. I'm just going to shrink this down. See how it behaves. Not very good. So it's like at that point, you know, where it starts to pinch, you might just think, actually, I don't need it to slice in this way at all. You don't care about it, so you can just sort of, yeah, drag it off, and yeah, it's not gonna, you know, obviously now when you stretch it like that, it's gonna go weird, but you're not always gonna want massive buttons like that, are you? So it should be okay. It's usually the horizontal stretching that makes the biggest difference, really. Cool. So something like that. And then I'll reuse these guys here. You're going to spend a little bit more time matching it so it's closer, but for this video I'll just sort of fly through it and roughly eyeball it. So that's that looking pretty decent. Let's just bring this bottom bar down. This is, yeah, it's like tab navigation, isn't it? Shimmy that up. My shift increments are tiny. And so as we're in offers right now, we'll write offers, and we want the fill this time. There. Let's color this. There you go. So daily deals. Make sure you go back for those. It looks like they reduced the size of the text there. Just so there's a little bit of hierarchy, I guess. And once again, it's probably smaller than that, you know. 32, go with that. Skins. Gotta look good, right? And resources. Cool. Apparently that's new. So we can reuse this component here. No highlight, so it makes me wonder if this is a momentary sort of like transition, which is kind of cool. It's quite nice to do that, get a bit of shader work on the go. If we change that here, you're gonna lose it on the other one, so we'll just leave it. But yeah, you could always detach the instance, select it, right click, break link to symbol, and do it that way if you wanted to. But I wouldn't worry about it now. Cool, so select these and the symbol there. Let's just roughly put that in place. Looking good. So the next bit, just creating your panel. You just lock this background color. There we go. Now we'll be able to select stuff and shimmy it over. Cool, and maybe we want a button there. Just pop that in place. Make sure it's as you want it. And then drag the next piece, which is the Supercell ID. Actually looks like they use their own branding font there, which is good. That's brand consistency. It's just annoying because I don't know if I have it. Okay, so Supercell. I'll take a guess. Industry. Let's go with that. It's close enough. And there you go. Supercell ID. Almost there with that bit. Cool, it's slightly wider than it is taller. There's a nice little border radius. And they invert the texts. Which is beautiful, I think. Look at that, lovely. Pop that down, there we go. Looking good. You're gonna get the exact same item in this one. There you go. And as you can sort of see, this panel's a little bit different in that they don't have the heading bar there, or the base one actually. So what I'd probably end up doing then is selecting it. If that's me. Break link to symbol. There we go. And cool. So connect to Supercell ID and get Wizard. Oh man, I'm gonna have to find wizard now. 4, 3. There you go. Looking good. What do you reckon? And yeah, so over to the gradients again. It's quite white and pink in the middle, and then nice and purple on the outer. There you go, look at that. Gorgeous, looking gorgeous. So with these, it's probably best just to like create a few random ones with enough variation between them. They're all going to that center point, so if you imagined this is the center point, they're all going to want to sort of radiate from there. So as you can see, this one here needs to be adjusted a little bit so it sort of makes sense. And yeah, and then you'll just reuse them. And then for the background, well, we created this icon here, which looks like it is kind of repeating in the background, so we can just reuse it. So hop into that symbol, copy it, and then if we paste that, and just scale it. Do something like that. And so object, pattern, make pattern. We can edit this, it will be live. So if you want something a little bit more balanced, you can do that. Create your 1920 by 1080 pattern layer. Select your swatch. Just get that into place. Send it to the back. If it'll allow you. Might have done it on a new layer. Send to the back. Keep it on top. And it's looking pretty good. What we might want to do is, the pattern obviously has got a little rotation to it, hasn't it? So we can just jump back into the pattern there. There you go. It's starting to come together. I think at this point, you know, you've definitely got the tools you need to do this yourself. Even like these types of icons, they're so basic, really. That you know, it's good to sort of just go through the gears, but you don't need to watch this part if you don't want to. I might even speed it up in the edit. Yeah, something like that could work. Let's just bring that down. It's all good. Absolutely fine for what we need, right? Zoom out. Paste it in place. There we go. Let's shrink that down. And let's quickly just do the arrow as well. cool. You could do something like, obviously it's darker, it's been disabled and well claimed, right? And there you have it. That's essentially it, guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Slightly longer than what we would usually do, but yeah, you know, we sort of definitely come a long way, and yeah, the results are pretty solid, I reckon. So if you if you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, like and subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I'll see you next time. Catch you later, guys.